He spun me around and pinned me to the wall, staring deep into my eyes. Damien? Oh, anxiety-inducing scene, yay. Here's the thing, if Damien were not drunk and this was happening, I might be into it a little bit more, but I'm not. Consent is fucking important. Yeah.
I love you.
Uh-huh, you're drunk, sweetie. Let go. I became lost in Damien's glowing gold eyes, feeling his enthrallment attempt once again to consume me. Every warning bell went off in my head, reminding me that he hadn't exactly been fed properly and regularly. This was probably him starving for energy. Some part of me, despite all of this, didn't want to let this go. It had been years since I felt his enthrallment on me. My body began to crave the urge to delve into my curiosity. Would it be different? Would I enjoy it more than when we usually held each other? He was starving, and I was curious. A deadly combination indeed. I let myself sink against the wall, staring up at Damien as he bore his hungry gaze into my soul. To see the new animal within him seemed too erotic to pull away from. Oh, ugh.
I just need a bit. Just enough to stop the hunger.
Uh-huh. Please let go of my wrist. A kiss then, take as much as you want, control yourself. I am not cruel. I know he needs energy right now, so kiss then. This was not something Damien wanted to do. Uh-huh. Yeah, he looked so tortured. I could tell that he was holding himself back, or at least he was trying to. Okay, that's not what I've got from this reading, but okay. He may have been a demon, but his mind was like a human. Was it? Is it? Are you not projecting here a little? I wasn't Emil. I was his soon-to-be wife. Damien stared into my soul, nodding before leaning in slightly and brushing his lips against my own. I closed my eyes and pressed my lips back against his, feeling the soft rain of energy course through my body. It was a strange feeling, being drained of energy instead of using it, but it was for the benefit of eating Damien enough not to starve him. Damien lowered his hands and placed them on my waist, digging his fingers slightly into my body to keep me close, as I wrapped my arms around him, pulling him close to me. It was okay to let him indulge a bit, but not too much. The kiss deepened only a bit, sweetening slowly to a kiss filled with energy drain, but more so laced with love and passion. Uh-huh, is that you talking or the enthrallment? As we pulled away at last, Damien's eyes swiftly shifted from gold to their normal, beautiful, purple and blue hue. There we go. Thank you for finally letting go. I lifted my hand and caressed Damien's cheek, seeing him smile down at me as I smiled back up into his eyes.
Did I hurt you?
My character seemed into it, the player not so much. I shook my head, giggling a bit, and feeling him relax from my silent answer. I'm more than happy to take care of you, Damien. You're the man I love, and I will always love you, no matter what. Damien's smile brightened at my words, his eyes filling with pure love and devotion to me, as he pulled me against him and nuzzled his forehead against mine.
How do I deserve you?
You don't. I can ask the same thing about you. Damien and I eventually moved into bed, arms firmly and lovingly wrapped around each other, as the darkness of slumber called to us, beckoning us to sleep for the night. Please, no creepy nightmares. The morning slowly rose from me waking up to see Damien's sleeping face. As I slowly sat up, I felt the ache of the morning rack through me, demanding that I go back to sleep. However, I knew better. I knew that the day had to continue forward, and that I had to wake up. Still, seeing Damien fast asleep made me feel a bit relieved. He certainly needed the sleep after the night before. Aren't incubus and succubi, not supposed to sleep in the demon world? Hi, Dee. Have you learned to, knock? Oh, never mind. A very faint knock rapped at the door, causing me to look up and see Diana enter with 2 plates of warm food. When she stepped in, she looked at me and tilted her head.
Up again before him?
Yeah, always. I nodded and rubbed the back of my neck, grinning a bit. I guess I've gone used to the demon world time. Diana laughed a bit before placing the food she held on the table nearby and crossed her arms.
I see. Well, if you could, please wake Damien up. I have something I must speak to you two about.
Funny, I have something I want to speak to you about. The whole voices in my head. Huh? What is it? Diana grimaced and looked away from me, staring at the ground and avoiding my gaze.
It would be best if both of you heard my news. Please, just wake him up.
I nodded and looked down at Damien, seeing him slightly stir against my body before I placed my hands on his shoulders and kissed his cheek. Damien, wake up. Indeed. You know what? You need another kiss again. Mwah! I giggled a bit and kissed his cheek again, nuzzling his temple with my nose. And Diana eye-rolled us the entire time. Come on. Diana's here and wants to talk to us. Damien stirred a bit more, finally opening his eyes and yawning from being awoken. As he looked up at me, I smiled down at him, earning a tired smile back. Morning.
Morning.
Damien slowly sat up, stretching his arms over his head before shaking his head and looking to Diana, taking in that she was in the room. Why would I lie about that?
Good morning.
She brought food. Damien only nodded before leaning back against the bedposts, relaxing against them as he looked to me. I turned my head to Diana and gestured for her to speak. So, what is it? Diana looked down at the floor, trying to find the answers in the wooden grain. You came to us. I became more curious as to what Diana was about to reveal, the longer the silence in the air lingered. Hey, the only thing that should linger in this room are kisses. What was the important news she had to say? What was the important news? That does not sound like it's written right. What was the important news she had to say? Feels better? Semantics. It is the thing that will always trip me up. When Diana formulated her answer, she looked up at me and Damien, taking in the breath.
I, may have found a way to perform a reverse ritual.
Woohoo! Let's go. A what? Damien ... and bug-eyed. Diana ran her hands through her hair and locked her gaze to me, obviously more comfortable speaking to me than to my fiancé. Yeah, I don't want to kill her, unlike, the brothers for, reasons. Although, good, thank you for helping Sam and Carrie with the whole demon marriage thing.
Long ago, when this world was forged, there was a human named Lilith, who was transformed into a demon and was brought to this world. It had been known ever since that any human who wished to be a demon, or is punished to be one, can very much become one.
Okay, so can I become a demon? I mean, Damien will be a demon, I'll be a demon, he'll get over his human fixation. I can only see this as good. Okay, so are you saying that... Diana nodded slowly, bringing her hands to her stomach and fiddling over her fingers.
It took me some sleepless nights, but I do believe I can perform a reverse ritual, which would in essence turn a demon into a human.
Okay. I mean, I would rather become a demon personally, but it's not about me, it's about Damien. My heart stopped. It was possible now?
How are you sure?
I could hear the twinge of sour strain in Damien's words. Yeah, he has every right to be cautious here. He was right to be skeptical. After all, she had failed to turn him human before. What was to say that this wasn't going to be a failure as well? Ouch, bit bitter there. Diana shook her head and lowered her hands to her sides.
I'm not. Nothing like this has ever been done before, and it could be risky. Hell, you could even die from this.
What? Can we just give him some hormone pills or something? What? I instantly stood up from the bed, making Diana turn her gaze at me in shock. This could kill Damien? There was no way in hell I was going to go through with this if she was suggesting such a thing. Mika? Yep, I understand wanting to protect your loved one, but it's not about you. And then what are you suggesting? Girl, take it down by 20.
I'm suggesting that it's an option. A risky one, but an option nonetheless.
Diana turned her eyes to Damien, seeing him straighten up in bed and gaze back at her with a serious expression.
I know that what I did back then was wrong.
Cool.
My intent was to make you as human as possible, but there was no method to even do that until now. If this works, you will become human. I swear on my family name.
I don't have the context. Is that a big deal? Damien ... interjects. You know what? This is not about me. I'ma stay quiet. I am beside him. He knows he has my support. Fingers crossed, hopefully. It wasn't my place to speak or not. This whole situation was dangerous, but it was ultimately up to Damien. Exactly. To be human or to be a demon. That was something he had to decide. I love Damien, no matter what. I looked over at Damien and watched him look back over to me, a glimmer of hope in his eyes. I could tell what he wanted, but would he ask me anything? Would I have a say?
Why wouldn't you have a say?
Because it's not my body, and I want him to be happy? Before my eyes, the world around me froze, and I was shut in a room of darkness, everything barely tinted in shadow. Well, what? I looked around, feeling stuck onto my spot, as the dark laughter echoed around the room.
It would be so selfish of him to become human without considering your feelings first. Wouldn't you agree?
No, absolutely not. It's not about me and how I feel. It is about him and how he feels. I have said this over and over again. I wish they would give you an option to help him find peace with being a demon. But if he can't find that peace, you know, let go and help him get to be the person he wants to be. What do you want now?
I'm just stating what's deep in your heart. Nothing more.
What do you mean?
Don't tell me I have to spell it out, dear. Damien turning human? He'd lose all of his powers. He'd be worthless, weak, and simple.
Not really, because he's already been living without his powers in between games, and we seem to be getting on just fine. But what if it's what he wants?
Do you even know what he wants?
Yes, he wants to be a human because he has this weird fixation on them. The memory of my wedding day flashed before my eyes. The voice was telling the truth. Did I really know what Damien wanted? Was anything he wanted for the best? The voice chuckled deeply, a relaxation settling into my core.
Now you're getting it.
No, I'm not, but that's fine. I remained silent, now lost once again. What was best? What if turning Damien human meant destroying who he was? Exactly. I became trapped in an endless cycle of questions and confusion as the voice finally vanished and left the world. Continue its journey forward in time. Finally vanished. Continue on its journey. That's a really weird sentence. Sorry, it almost feels like it's a run-on sentence.
You do not have to decide now, but I will be awaiting your answer if you do wish to try.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve. I am sorry we have caused you sleepless nights. Diana nodded before leaving the room, most likely to prepare for the day. Damien and I stood in silence, me lost from the voice in my head, and Damien lost in his own thoughts. What were we supposed to do? Love and support each other. That's what you're supposed to do. The option was now on the table, but instead of Diana sleeping with Damien, there was a chance that Damien could lose his life. Truly a fate worse than death. I wasn't sure where I stood on the issue, but I didn't like the options I was given before and now. Was it better just to leave Damien a demon? Was it worth dying to become human? It is to Damien, and that's what's important here. This is what Damien needs to feel whole. So, yeah, we're gonna support him. The voice in my head teased me, prodding me to convince Damien to think against himself. But my heart knew what the choice was his alone. Exactly. As I looked at him, I could see the conflict in his eyes while he stood and took up both of the breakfast plates Diana made for us. Yeah, eggs with the eggs, hash browns, bacon, with a side order of, confusion. Truly the best side dish, and by best I mean worst. He walked to me at last and handed me one, looking into my eyes and locking our gaze on each other. Was he going to ask me, or was he going to keep the choice to himself?
Selfish.
Shut up. I mentally flinched at the word, hearing it ring in my heart. However, as Damien turned and sat down on the edge of the bed, I watched as he let out a sigh before starting to eat. I guess the choice was fully going to be his own, whether I liked it or not. We ate in silence until he left for his training, and I headed for my own. Never had I felt such a strain and worry pull at my heart until that moment. Wow, you have led a sheltered-ass life. I needed to work it out. Okay, never mind. What's there to work out? You support your guy regardless of what his choice is. I slowly became more comfortable with the sword and began to do more tricks. I became more agile, more aware of my surroundings. As I continued to slice through the dummy I decided to call Maul. Why Maul? I don't know why, but the name felt right for it. Okay, fair enough. I pulled myself from the training ground to the gates and through the castle doors. The interior was dark, as you can tell by all of the lit candles and the bright lighting. Yet warm. Even burning fires that served as light illuminated the corridors, eased my ability to navigate through the winding halls. The walk was peaceful and quiet on my way to my destination, until I heard familiar laughter tear through the walkway. Ah, okay, we've seen this. It's going to be Matthew and his girlfriend. Yeah. I'm just gonna skip through this because I only have so many hours in a day. Aw, and then we get to see Eric and his lovely bride Irene. Awesome. It's nice to have these scenes, but I know I've covered them in other parts of the Let's Play. So I am hoping if you're interested in seeing these scenes that you've already had a chance to see them in one of the other walkways. My apologies for skipping them. But, you know, it exists if you want to see it elsewhere.
Hey.
Okay.
But
We are
what
done.
he's being, of course.
Sorry, I'm just trying to get us to the next part where we can start talking again. I trekked to my room, letting the day fade to the back of my memories. I was remembering Diana's words to Damien. She would have a ritual set up for him, if he wanted to be human. But the choice was his. Exactly. A part of me screamed to stop him. The risk of his life wasn't worth it. But it was something he desired more than anything. The fix seemed simple, but it was deadly. Yeah, that's... I kinda wish they hadn't thrown that in. Of, yes, there's a fix, but it might cost you your life. I could lose the man I loved over something trivial. But was it trivial? No, it's super not to Damien. And I hate the fact that they even bring this up of maybe it's trivial?
Of course it is.
Oh, shut up. I wasn't surprised anymore. Glaring at the floor as the voice made themselves known in my head.
He's being selfish. Why be a human when he could be happy with you as a demon? Why does this change have to happen?
Because it's what he wants. It's what he wants. See?
But what do you want?
Doesn't
You're
matter.
the one about to sign your life away to him forever and ever. Shouldn't your opinion matter whether he becomes a human or stays a demon?
No, it shouldn't. My job as the significant other is to love and support him. End of story. Ta-da. My mind began to agree, but wasn't that selfish within itself? Was I truly that important to where I was allowed to decide Damien's choices? Because I was his soon-to-be wife? Mika, ... I continued forward, letting the dark chuckle from the voice reverberate in my head into a simple echo. Echo, echo, echo. This was my choice, and the voice needed to stay out of it, whatever it was. Why have we not asked Diana about this, or Sarah, or Faye, or any of the brothers, or Carrie, or Irene, or anyone? Why are we not talking about this? I would deal with it in due time, which means not at all in this game. For now, my focus was on Damien. Exactly, good girl. Hey, sweetie. I reached our room to see Damien standing by the door, obviously waiting for me. As he caught sight of me, he smiled slightly and walked over, meeting me halfway.
Hey.
Hey yourself. Hey. I couldn't mask the worry in my voice. I was nervous, frightened beyond anything else about this. There was a lot at stake, and I became witness and potential victim to it all with each minute that passed. Wow. God damn it, Mika, stop making it about you. But would Damien listen? Would he understand? What would he do if I voiced my worries? Would he give a damn about the risk? Did he give a damn? Oh, I'm pretty sure he does. Otherwise, he would have, jumped right out of bed as soon as Diana says, by the way, I might have a cure. I think he cares. The fact that he has not, gone running, it says a lot. I gazed into his eyes, seeing hopeful fire burn within them. His answer was clear, while mine wasn't. It was completely uncomfortable to be in my skin. But I had to accept that this was an obstacle we had to face, one way or another. True. But we're gonna be there for him. That's what's important. Damien took up my hand and held them to his chest.
Would you be upset with me if I went through with it?
I questioned the timing, but no. A part of me felt like screaming, begging him to reconsider. No, not at all. The other part of me wanted to simply shake my head and accept what was about to occur. I was completely torn. Player's not. I gripped onto Damien's hand, clinging for something to soothe me, make me feel at ease. When nothing came, I scrambled to try and answer him. If it makes you happy, then do it. Please don't. It's too risky. You know what? Makes you happy, then do it. I had to accept it. It wasn't my choice to make it all. Exactly. And it wasn't fair to Damien to demand that he change his mind for me. Exactly. Besides, I loved him no matter what. Exactly. Thank you. This is a failing in this visual novel of not giving you a choice to make your peace with, am I going to be supportive or not, right out of the gate. It has been very frustrating playing this. Human or demon, he was still the man I loved. Aww. I stared into Damien's eyes as I gripped his hands and hugged them to me lovingly. I could see the pure joy in Damien's eyes as he stared down at me, tears lacing the edges. I love you, no matter what you are. If you truly wish to be human, then let's do everything we can to make that happen. Before I let Damien reply, however, I brought his hands to my lips, kissing over them with the now worried expression. I was still scared. I could lose him. And yeah, that is a vital concern. But life is risk sometimes. But please, please, don't you dare die on me. I can't bear to live without you. Damien nodded and leaned him. Damien nodded and leaned him? Don't you mean leaned in? Kissing over my forehead gingerly.
I will do everything I can to survive it.
Good boy. A wave of relief washed over me from his words. Maybe he was enthralling me to calm me down, or maybe his love simply reassured me that everything would be all right. Either way, this was happening. Woohoo! Finally! I looked up at him and caressed his cheek, feeling him lovingly nuzzle into my palm. Then, let's tell Diana. But we're gonna have to tell Diana next time because this video has gone on for quite a bit. I hope you've enjoyed the show, and until next, tak likatela kiddo.